Hello Twitch, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Pokémon Gold. Last time, we cleared everything we could do in Ecruteak City for the time being, including defeating the gym leader, Morty, and we made our way over to Olivine City in order to continue our adventure. First thing I want to do is I want to go catch a Pokemon to replace this Poliwag we caught earlier. Because it's not the water Pokemon that I intend to use for this playthrough. Would be nice, but getting its evolutions would just be kind of tricky. So instead I caught it in order to get this Pokemon, Tentacool. Tentacool is actually one of my favorite water Pokemon. It's a water poison type with all-around good stats. It has good offenses, very high special defense and speed. It can learn quite a large variety of attacks, especially in later generations. It's just, all in all, a very good Pokemon. Which was surprising considering how common it is. Pretty much wherever you go when surfing, you're guaranteed to run into Tentacool. But despite it being so common, it's still a very good Pokemon. It looks like we managed to catch a female. That's actually very fitting because back on my DeviantArt, I like to draw some monster girls. And one of the monster girls I designed is actually a mermaid who has the bottom half of a jellyfish. And so I'll name my Tentacool after her, Jellian. I don't know. It just kind of came to me recently. Because I have this character, and I was planning to use a jellyfish Pokemon on my team, so it's very fitting. Alright, Poliwag, you served us very well. Let's take a look at this girl. She is a lot lower level than everyone else, but that's fine. She'll catch up very quickly. Now, she doesn't look too fantastic right now, but she's also not too far off from evolving, so that'll be good. So happy I got to finally take care of this. I mean, I probably could have caught Jellian in the last episode, but we were kind of running over my usual 2 hours, so I figured might as well just cut it off there. With that, we got one of the last Pokemon I'm gonna catch for serious reasons in this playthrough. I don't know, we'll see much later what else I decide to catch. But for now, the team is looking very good. We have, like, the 4 types that I always like to use whenever I play Pokemon. We got Grass, Fire, Water, and Electric covered. We have a Flying type Pokemon, and then we got a Rock Ground type. This is, all in all, just a very good team. Yeah. With Surf on you with that very high 95 power. Oh yeah, Jellian is going to fit in nicely on this team. And now that we have Jellian, we could potentially go forward over to Cianwood City. Now that we have a Pokemon with Surf. But there's some other stuff I want to do in the Johto region before I go over there, because we do need to build up our levels before we challenge the next gym, and there is a lot of stuff that opens up in the Johto region in areas that we explored previously now that we have access to Surf. In fact, if we want to, we could go east of Ekritique City and explore the areas over there. I'm probably going to save that until a bit later, just because of story convenience, but we'll see. Let's take this mint berry here. So, in between streams, I actually ground up a lot of berries, since they are necessary for this quest over here, about feeding this Miltank a lot of berries. So once you give it a few berries, you'll get the message saying that it's feeling a little healthier. I think it's around every 3 berries. Well, okay, after giving it 2 there, almost glitched out the game. Stop that, Moo Moo. Yeah, I believe you need to give it about 8 berries in order for it to recover fully. But now Moo Moo is feeling much better. And because of that, if we go back here, how'd you like my Moo Moo milk? It's my pride and joy, son. Give it a Pokemon Restore HP. Ah, great, my bag is full. Alright, we'll give this berry to Jellian just to free up space. Probably don't need too many of these berries. Could also store some of these items away. But yeah, our reward for helping cure Moo Moo is the ability to buy Moo Moo milk. Wait. And we also get TM13, which sadly is not Ice Beam in this game, it's Snore. It's a normal type attack that only works when you are asleep. Okay, I forgot. In this game, the Moo Moo Milk is just a one-time thing you get for completing the quest. You can actually find Moo Moo Milk by stealing them from Wild Miltank, which is pretty nice, but I'm just very disappointed right now because this quest is so much better in the remakes, because you're able to buy as much milk as you want. I don't know, it could be a once-a-day thing, but I don't know, that's just kind of disappointing. Oh well, we still got a pretty big session ahead of us. Because I want to just kind of take a journey back to some areas that we've been to in the Johto region and see what we can find now that we have Surf. So pretty much in any area where there's a body of water, you're able to use Surf to cross the water and get to some items that you normally couldn't find before. There's nothing of interest in that pond, so let's keep moving. And again, we could go to the east, but I'm not doing that now. So I think first I want to backtrack all the way to New Bark Town. And while we're doing that, I thought I'd just kind of share my thoughts on some things that have been going around. So very recently, there's been some news about some Pokemon information. There's going to be a press conference held later today that will probably go into some stuff. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be, but it should be interesting if it's at all good. And in like next week, we are going to get some Pokemon Sword and Shield news, which will be very helpful. Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, in between sessions, I actually went and and surfed in these areas, and I did find some items, but it's like a PP up, a hyper potion, stuff like that. Kind of a shame I didn't show it live, but whatever, it's just minor items. Nothing too important. So yeah, I'm really excited for what they're gonna share in the Sword and Shield Direct. We're probably going to see the cover legendaries, which will be very cool given what they're theorized to be about. And also, it would be nice if we got to see like some of the early Pokemon you encounter in the game, like the standard normal flying type and the normal type that is very weak, but still helpful early on. I don't know. Maybe even an early bug type, too. So all those would be nice. So something we can do now that we have Surf is that we can return to the Dark Cave. This was an area that we could explore a long time ago, but couldn't get too far in. But now that we have access to Rock Smash and Surf, we can explore a lot more of this cave than we could. Going back into gaming stuff, there was also some unfortunate news about Super Mario Maker 2, and that you won't be able to link up with friends online to play co-op together, which is kind of disappointing, but it's not really a big deal for me. But I've seen a lot of my friends just being very angry about that, which I understand. The ability to play co-op in a game like that is really cool, especially with all the different levels you're able to play. So it is kind of disappointing, but I'm not too hung up about it, because my main thing with Mario Maker is just designing levels from ideas and inspirations that come to me, and getting over to share those levels online with other people. So I'll still be able to do that. It's just not going to be able to actually play together more people. So in this section of Dark Cave, the Pokemon are actually very high leveled. They're much higher level than they are in the other portions. And there's also a certain Pokemon you can find in this area. Probably not going to see it, but it's a rather infamous one. And that Pokemon being Wobbuffet. So Wobbuffet is an interesting Pokemon that it's not a attacker per se. It's a purely defensive Pokemon that has an interesting playstyle, where Wobbuffet is incapable of dealing direct damage. The only attacks it has that can damage opponents are Counter and Mirror Coat, which only deal damage based on the damage that gets inflicted upon you before you use those attacks. So Wobbuffet's playstyle is very defensive and about using your opponent's tactics against them, which makes it a pretty cool Pokemon. Not one I particularly use a lot, but still cool. Man, we could find Krabby here. That's cool. So pretty much in most Rock Smash rocks, you're able to encounter Wild Krabby. It's not a Pokemon I really recommend using, at least in this generation. After Gen 4, because of the physical special split, I do recommend it more, because Krabby deals a lot of damage with its somewhat signature move called Crab Hammer. It's very helpful. Ah, jeez. Jellian, why? So yeah, unfortunately, Tentacool, while it does have great special defense, its normal defense is a little lacking. So that's just something we're gonna have to deal with. Jeez, I don't have a... Sadly, I don't have a revive with me because I wasted all of them against Morty. I'll just get out there and regroup. So, back to Mario Maker. While it is disappointing that you won't be able to play cooperatively with friends, it's still going to be really good. Like, all the new additions they made with stage building, and the fact that you're still able to share stages over online, it's still going to be really good. I'm not too hung up about the co-op problems as much as some people are. It's just something that we're gonna have to deal with. Let's buy some more regular potions. Alright, this should be good. So the main reason I want to go over to the Dark Cave again is just to kind of show what can be seen on the other side now that we have access to Surf. Because we can explore a lot more of this place, and there's a few things we can find, a few good items we can get. This area is kind of interesting in that it opens up a lot more as the story progresses. But it's not like a really major plot important area. Also, you may have noticed on the side there that I have drawn new fan art for both Pompeii and Ruby in her Graveler form. I'm really proud of this art. It was really cool working on the details of it and the poses, and made me really appreciate how good of a design Magmar has. Like, a lot of people say that a lot of the Generation 1 Pokemon have very basic designs or a lot of unoriginal inspirations, but Magmar's overall design is just really cool. Yes, even with the fact that its head looks like a butt. That's just something I still can't get over with this design. Come on, what now? Just another Krabby. You know what happened the last time Jellian fought one of these things? Hopefully she can do better. Krabby do have good physical defense, which is why this thing is taking those acids very well. So we're gonna switch you out. Again, Jillian's a little weak, but hopefully when we're done exploring these areas, she will be on par with everyone else on the team. So an elixir is a very good item for restoring power points. I believe it restores the power points of all your Pokemon's attacks by 10 PP. So that is good. What do we have here? Another Hyper Potion. Nice. Still not gonna really need Hyper Potions for a while because they heal just way too much. So the path kind of splits here. Let's head down this way first. Whoops. Yep, there's something good. That's what the encounters in this spot. This Pokemon is so high level, but they keep just rushing me. That is a full heal. Very good. That restore every status condition there is. Alright, we shouldn't have to worry about that rock if we go over here. And by taking that path, we've arrived over in... let's see, what is this route again? Because so we're not having a display. Route 46! This is actually the area where we caught Halberd and Ruby back when we first started this adventure. That's very nice that you have this quick path back to this area. Let's grab these additional berries. And let us give this one to Jillian. So we're farther up on the route than we were previously. We still can't fully explore this area, but we will be back here much later on to do some stuff. If I remember correctly, the path splits here. There's a guy down there, and over here... I'm raising Pokemon too! Will you battle with me? Hello, Ted. Scott and Mankey. Jillian should be able to handle this. So over here we got a Dire Hit. That's a one-use item just like the X attacks that increases the crit rate of your Pokemon in battle until the battle's over or until they switch out. Can be helpful, not too interested though. This girl's got Ponyta, a very fast and very strong fire-type Pokemon. We're not going to be able to catch these for quite a while, but they are pretty good. This will be a good battle for Jellian. Oh, darn it. I don't know if I really want your phone number, Aaron. Alright, at least Jellian's got a level up in. That's good. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go back for the cave if we're going to fight that one guy. We'll do that a bit later. For now, let's head over back to New Bark. Actually, since we're in the New Bark area, hang on. So I want to go to Cherry Grove first. Because there's something we could do a lot sooner that I haven't done yet. Now what I want to do is go over to the PC, and I want to bring back Togepi onto the team. Just for a little bit. So let's put Ruby away for now. Hey Togepi, it's been a while. Now remember when Professor Elm gave us the Togepi egg so that we could try and hatch it and see what it contains? Well, there's something we get if we can bring Togepi back to the Professor. I hope it's in this version of the game, because if not, this will be embarrassing. Hello, Professor. Hayden, you look great. What? That Pokemon! The egg hatch! So Pokemon are born from eggs. No, perhaps not all Pokemon are. Wow, there's still a lot of research to be done. Thanks, Hayden. You're helping unravel Pokemon mysteries for us. I want you to have this as a token of our appreciation. So we get an Everstone. The Everstone is an item that prevents the held Pokemon from evolving, which may seem a little weird for some people, because normally when you make a Pokemon evolve, they grow stronger and all that, so why would you want to prevent that? I know. The Everstone does have other applications, especially in breeding, that I don't really want to go into just yet. I want to show that east of our house, we were able to surf across this water. Oh, gee, no. You're a very mean tentacle. How dare you poison my sheep? Alright, that's good. If we keep going further... Oh, come on. Tentacle, stop blue balling me. What do you want, Derek? They're holding the bug catching contest today at the park. Are you gonna go? Yeah, it is a Tuesday, so the thing is open. Hey, you know what you just did? You're taking your first step into Kanto! Check your Pokegear map and see. So yeah, this is actually something really cool. Is that we are actually in the Kanto region now. We are no longer in Johto. This is something that a lot of people must have been really excited for when they first played Gold and Silver. I still think it's really cool that they fit the entire Kanto region into this game along with Johto. It's very cool. We can't really progress farther through Kanto at the moment, because we're missing some very important stuff that we're not getting until much later. But we will be coming through here again much later. That's probably going to knock out Jean. We're close. Come on, girl. You can take this. Ooh, nice. We paralyzed it. No, Jean, why? That's unfortunate. Come on, Kale. Still take those poison attacks very well. Very good. Ah, jeez. I hate dealing with confusion. A lot of times just waste time. Kale broke out of that very quickly. That I am happy. Come on, man. So, don't really know what to talk about, so we got like nothing going on right now. Got a hyper potion, a red candy there. Sorry. So, anything we can get rid of. You know what? I don't need the Everstone. Let's get rid of it. Sorry, Professor. Let's take that rare candy for later. Very good. So we head back. Guess just want to kind of talk about some stuff. I don't know, I've been going back to watching a few different Let's Play series. Because one of the channels I'm subscribed to, Brain Scratch Commentaries, has actually had its 10th year anniversary a few days ago, and just so cool to see a channel go through a big milestone like that. It's a channel that I definitely really love and appreciate a ton, so it's really cool seeing them go through that. Another stuff I've been watching recently, I've been rewatching a lot of American Dad clips on YouTube, and just, man, that show is just still very good. Like, I know that Seth MacFarlane shows usually have a negative reputation to them, like the later seasons of Family Guy and definitely the Cleveland Show, but American Dad to me has been very consistent in its humor and its characters, like even after all these years, so it's still a show that I think is good and I like to revisit. So overall, I think just the characters in it are very good. Like, Roger, I still consider one of the best cartoon characters of this generation. He is amazing. I've also been trying to play more of Yoshi's Crafted World and trying to finish that game, but it's so tough because there's so many dang collectibles you need to get. It can be kind of tiring. I definitely feel like the developers overdid it with that game because there's just so much you have to collect and do, and I don't know, it kind of just drags the pacing of the game down when you have to constantly revisit the same level like 3 different times just to collect stuff. So it can be kind of tiring, but I still really enjoy the level design and the overall aesthetic of the game, so that's mainly the reason I keep going back to it. It's because as much as I don't like the collectathon aspect of the game, there's still some very good level design and other qualities that just make it good. And also in terms of art, I've been working on a new piece based on A Hat in Time. I'm not sure when I'm gonna finish this, probably in a couple days, but it's definitely something that I'm very proud of. Especially if I can get this done, cause oh man, I just really think A Hat in Time is a good game, even though I haven't played it yet. It's definitely something that I want to get on Steam, or maybe the Switch. Or maybe I will get it on Steam, actually, so that I can stream it. Because I definitely think it'll be a fun game to stream. It's just, I think the game is just very charming with its visuals and its characters. And how it's like kind of like a melting pot of different ideas from various video games of the past. Like, it has elements of Super Mario Sunshine and also Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door in it. Just a really, really good, vibrant, and charming game. Definitely like to go for that. Also kind of want to go back to and beat Hollow Knight. Like, that game is just beautiful, but it's also very challenging, and I don't know, it can get kind of exhausting after a while going through that game. But yeah, I do hope to go back to it and try to finish it. Welcome back to the team, Ruby. Alright, so now all that stuff in New Bark is done. There's some stuff in Cherry Grove we can do now that we have Surf. This is the sea, as you can see. And in the sea, we find this man on this island. A Pokemon I caught had an item. I think it's Mystic Water. I don't need it, so do you want it? Ah, jeez. I hate the limited inventory space in these early games. Let's get rid of the dire hit. Seriously, I'm glad that starting in Gen 4, they just made the inventory space infinite. So you can carry as many items as you want, because that's definitely something that needed to be in the series. Anyway, the Mystic Water is the water type equivalent of the Mystic Seed and Miracle Seed and the Charcoal that we got a long time ago. This makes it so that we can boost the power of the Pokemon's water attacks. It's definitely something I like to give to my water Pokemon, just to give them that extra boost in battle. Especially since we have a powerful move like Surf in our team now. It's actually kind of shocking how early you get Surf in this game compared to some of the others. Like, usually Surf isn't something you get until the 5th or 6th gym. So it's definitely something that's very nice about this game. They give you very good rewards. For the most part. My inventory is a little full of redundant items. We might have to get rid of some berries in the future. Oh well, we'll get to that later. And with that, we're pretty much done with Cherry Grove for the rest of the game. Alright, sorry, I'm thinking about Heart Gold and Soul Silver stuff right now. Because I know that there's that pond down there. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, there's a path that actually leads to the pond and you can get an item over there. This game, however, you cannot. It's kind of tricky with me, because I've definitely played Heart Gold and Soul Silver a lot more than I played the original Gold and Silver, so it's definitely going to be a lot of details I'm just going to get wrong because of that. But now there was that guy back in the cave, well, on the other side of the dark cave that we haven't fought yet, so let's go meet him. He does have quite a few Pokemon that will give us some good experience for Jellian, so might as well. We need to get our team stronger. Given our time right now, I don't actually know if we're going to be able to fight the next gym. I kind of want to, because we've been consistent about doing one gym battle per episode so far. But I don't know. We'll have to see how things go. There is a lot of stuff you can do once you get Surf in this game, so we'll just have to wait and see. See, because it's water. Shut up now. So going just back to Twitch and the streaming community in general, there have been a few ideas for different video series that I want to try out eventually. Like, I know that can be kind of exhausting going through a game, being like super informative about the different stuff you can do in the game. So one thing I would like to do eventually is to kind of skip trying to be all informal and professional and just kind of do some role-playing. You know, like, really trying to get myself ingrained into this world. Acting out as a character. Because it's something I really like to do when I'm playing different games. I like to roleplay as whoever I'm playing as. I don't know, I think that'd be a very fun idea to do in the future. I have to really think about what games would really fit that. Because I know Pokémon would definitely fit with that. I've definitely roleplayed as a lot of my characters before. I know when I started out on Twitch, I did start with Terraria. So it'd be good to, like, roleplay with that. Maybe even Stardew Valley. Alright, Jellian, good work. While I'm here, because the Pokemon are just so low level and not giving me much experience, let's use a Repel. But yeah, I definitely think like a role-playing stream where I'm just acting out as a character for an adventure would be good. Ooh, also Skyrim. I think like playing an Elder Scrolls game and role-playing as my character would be really fun. Because I know recently in Skyrim, the most recent character I made was an orc that I called Grubnut. And I kind of roleplayed him as like being a very aggressive, attacking whoever he encounters. Not really focusing on magic, just specializing in beating the crap out of people. Oh, with physical weapons. It's really fun on just kind of going nuts with this character. So that's definitely something I would like to do in the future. Man, playing Skyrim would be really fun. Maybe going back to one of the older games like Morrowind or Oblivion. Because I did start the Elder Scrolls series with Oblivion. That was a pretty good game. I know that Skyrim's like the big game that people talk about in that series nowadays, but I don't know. I think it's good. We're really excited to see what they do with the 6th game that they have in development right now. I'm hoping that it's good, considering the quality of Skyrim, but I'm not sure. Going back to that, I know basically nothing about Elder Scrolls Online. Do people actually play that game? Is there a big community for that? Because I keep seeing ads for that game on YouTube and Twitch. I don't really have much interest in it, though. So I'm not really too big into MMOs. When I was younger, I was like really into RuneScape as a kid, and so I had a lot of good times with that game. Like pretty much every school day after school, my brothers and I would walk down to the library and we would play RuneScape on the library computers for an hour. And that was really good. Maybe that could also be a game I could stream in the future. Because I did recently make a new character last year in RuneScape. Well, the RuneScape old school version that's much blocky and whatnot. Like the version of the game that I played as a kid, not the new version. It's still kind of a rough game, but I still really like it. I've also been thinking about going back to Let's Go Pikachu sometime in the future. Just want to do another playthrough of that. Specifically, I want to try a mono bug type playthrough of that game. Because it's something that I've always wanted to do in a Kanto game, considering that bug is like my second favorite type in the entire series. May sound shocking, but I just really love them. I've always had a fascination with insects, so I don't know, it just seems fitting. Anyway, we're done with everything we can get with Surf over there, so it's time to see what we can do over at the ruins of Alf. Because yeah, there's some stuff we can do over here now that we have Surf. Give me that berry. There's probably not too much we can see in the ruins of Alf right now, but whatever. So we've been through that cave. There's also this pond that we can explore, which takes us nowhere. That's a little disappointing. Is there anything over here? Yep. I think this is the pond that I'm thinking of. Can they change out the layout of this area in Heart Gold and Soul Silver? So I'm more familiar with that version of this game. We got another puzzle here. This flying Pokemon attacked its prey with saw-like fangs. And we got ourselves another puzzle. This one actually shouldn't be too bad. One of the definite tips I have for this is to try and start with the corner pieces. Or just the edge pieces in general. There we go. It's a hieroglyph of Aerodactyl. And pretty much that just... So pretty much the reasons you want to solve these puzzles is to encounter more types of unknown. Every time you solve one of the tile puzzles, that activates more unknown. It would be nice if the unknown became higher level the more you progress in this area. I think that would be a cool detail. But no. They're still all very weak. Only know one attack. But that looks like the W unknown. Again, I think unknown are kind of weak. They're cool in concept, and they are definitely used well in the third movie. But they're still just so weak. Why would you ever want to use them? And there's Unknown G. Going back to Pokemon, considering that the series is probably going to wrap up this year, I want to really get back into watching Pokemon Sun and Moon, the anime. because I think it'd be a really good time. Just from what I've seen online, yes, it definitely looks like a very good season. I don't know how much I'd like it as much as, say, the Diamond and Pearl series, which I still consider one of the best parts of the entire Pokemon anime, but who knows. I think I'm really going to enjoy it based on what I've seen. It's an area we could access before when we first got cut, but pretty much you only want to go up here to get the TM for Roar. Roar is one of the attacks that makes it so that when you are trying... So it makes it so that the opponent has to switch out. At least in a trainer battle. Which normally isn't too useful unless you have set up using entry hazards that deal damage whenever your opponent is forced to switch. So yeah, that's only the real reason I can see ever using Roar. And unfortunately in this playthrough, I don't see it getting used at all. I don't think there's anything we get with Surf in this area. There is water, but nothing of interest, so let's keep moving. However, I believe we can access more stuff in the Union Cave. What's interesting about the Union Cave is that this area actually connects to the Ruins of Alph in some of its passages. And that is how we access the rest of the tile puzzles. Might as well go through this just to get more levels for the team. Hey, Rattata. Seeing it just now just made me remember. So, I've caught quite a few shiny Pokemon in my time as a Pokemon player. But in total, out of all the shiny Pokemon, the only ones I have seen two of the same species of have been Rattata. In my time as a Pokemon player, I've caught a shiny Rattata in Heart Gold, as well as in White 2. So yeah, I think that was a pretty cool experience, me getting two of the same shinies in two different games. Hopefully that's the only time I encounter that, because honestly I just like growing my collection with different shiny species. In total I have so many. Like the earliest ones I can think back to are my shiny Magmar I caught in Soul Silver, the Slowbro I caught in Leaf Green. There was that Tentacruel I caught in Diamond that I unfortunately deleted. After that, I didn't encounter many shinies until Gen 5 started. And after that, I got so many Gen 5 shinies. Like, I caught a shiny Audino, which was really cool. I got a shiny Ferroseed, shiny Joltik, the aforementioned Rattata, as well as an Axew. That was a pretty good find for me, because I really like Axew. It's one of my favorite dragon Pokemon. Hello, buddy. What's going on? Man, this lie's looking cray-cray. Ooh, it's got a Marowak. I'm probably gonna switch Jillian out here. This Marowak is strong. Not the best ground type in the game, but still very solid attack. And it can boost its attack stat even more with its signature held item, the Thick Club. I don't know if Marowak gets the Thick Club in this game. I think it does. but pretty much every wild Cubone or Marowak has a 5% chance of spawning with a fit club, which I believe doubles its attack stat, making it a very powerful Pokemon. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna let Kale finish these guys off. Now, going back to shiny Pokemon, in Gen 5 I also got a shiny Piloswine too. So that was a good find while I was training up one of my teams. And I believe that's all the Gen 5 shinies I've gotten. Yeah, so then be Gen 6, which also had a lot of shinies. Like, in X and Y, just... oh, there's been a lot. So, I got a shiny Pidgey that I caught while trying to complete the Pokedex. In a playthrough of Y, I found a shiny Chingling very early in the playthrough and actually used it on my team. She was pretty fun. And much later, I caught a shiny Cypher in a Horde, which was real good. Then I also caught a shiny Xatu in Alpha Sapphire, I believe. Yeah, Alpha Sapphire, right. And then back into Y, I also found a shiny Solrock, which unfortunately, like the Tentacruel, I also deleted. And in another playthrough, this is gonna be crazy, but in a playthrough, I managed to encounter a Horde battle with a shiny Mime Jr., and then 2 battles later, I ran into another Horde of Roggenrola that also had a shiny in it. So I got 2 shiny Pokemon within like 2 battles. So close together, and it's just insane. It's like easily the best shiny luck I've ever had. I just really loved getting those 2. Especially because they're 2 of my favorite Pokemon. And I think that covers my Gen 6 shinies. I also have a shiny Timber and a shiny Ninetales that I got over... oh, Jellian, no. And a shiny Ninetales that I got over Wonder Trade, but I don't really count those 2 since they were things I acquired from someone else and not something that I caught on my own. But back to the stuff. I believe that's all my Gen 6 shinies, so we'll move on to Gen 7, where I also caught a lot of Pokemon, mainly ones that I hunted through SOS chaining. In fact, the only Gen 7 shiny that I encountered by normal means was a shiny Abra, which I managed to catch with a Quick Ball. So, go me. It sucks not having revives right now. Ooh, Quagsire. That's cool. As for the rest of my Gen 7 shinies, there was the... oh, he ran away. Probably knew that I was sending out a grass type and he fled in fear. So, I've also had a... I also got a shiny Mudbray, which I evolved into Mudsdale. A shiny Bounsweet, which I evolved into Serena. A shiny Fomantis, I evolved into Lurantis. And a shiny Mimikyu, which I was really excited for, because I caught that one very quickly into my... like, in the current SOS chain, where I was hunting for the Mimikyu, I caught it in, like, the 5th encounter, so that was really good. Again, I think the later gens are just very good for hunting for shiny Pokemon. They increase the odds by a lot and also add more methods for obtaining the shinies, so definitely the newer games are good for getting those encounters. Sadly, I haven't found any shinies in Let's Go yet. Even though it's supposed to be, like, very easy to get them. And yet I haven't run into one, and that kind of makes me sad. Oh well. I do kind of want to hunt for some more stuff, especially in Let's Go, because one of the first shinies I ever encountered but didn't get the chance to catch was a Voltorb in Leaf Green. And, like, one of my big dreams is to encounter a shiny... Ah, come on. Anthony, what is this? Yeah, good for you. Like, one of my big dreams right now is to try and get a shiny Voltorb. Just in honor of the one that I had back in Leaf Green. Well, the one I found in Leaf Green but didn't actually catch. It's kind of like a personal goal of mine. Hey, with the way the series has been going, who knows, I might actually do it. But going back into the game, as we've seen, there's a lot more to Union Cave than we could previously see before. Because now that we have Surf, we can access a lot of different floors in this place. And this is where some actually interesting stuff happens, especially in the floor that we're going to. Might as well go into this since we won't be able to do it today. But in the bottom floor of the Union Cave, if you go down there on a Friday, it has to specifically be a Friday, you have a chance of encountering a wild Lapras. Which, if you remember my Leaf Green playthrough, was a very solid Pokemon with just great stats all around, an excellent move pool. It's just a Pokemon that I really adore. And needless to say, getting a Lapras in this game, it's a little challenging, but still very much worth it, because I love Lapras a lot. I really enjoyed using it in Leaf Green. Would have been nice to use it here, but I felt like giving Tentacool a chance, especially because I made a personal goal of mine when I'm playing these Pokemon streams on Twitch, not to reuse Pokemon that I've used in a previous playthrough, so that's just a personal goal of mine throughout these streams as I continue playing Pokemon. I want to keep things fresh and make sure every team I use is unique, because it makes the gaming experience unique overall. I mean, if I just play the game using the same 6 Pokemon just because they're 6 very good Pokemon, things would get very stale. No, I'm not calling out any specific YouTubers. Maybe I am. What do we have here? Another elixir. Very nice. As you can see, there's a lot to this floor. We haven't reached the area with the Lapras yet. I mean, it's not that important since we can't actually encounter a Lapras today. Oh good, this one didn't run away. It's also really high level, so this thing should give us a lot of experience. Come on. There we go. It's so good KOing a Pokemon with 4 times weakness. Especially if it's a really bulky one like Quagsire. Hello there. Now this girl, I believe, has a pretty tough team. Yep, cool trainer Gwen. So this trainer's shtick is that they use the Eevee family. Specifically, she mainly uses the free evolutions from Gen 1. Which will definitely make this an interesting battle. Come on, Jellian. Get this thing beat you now. One more should do it. There we go. Now this is where things get tricky. Let's have Jean take out Vaporeon. It's gonna be a little challenging because Vaporeon is very bulky. It shouldn't have too many dangerous attacks at this level, but we'll see. Yeah, it's very bulky, has very high HP and special defense. So Jean is going to have a bit of trouble taking this thing out. Right. Very good. Come on, Jean, hang in there. Alright, good. Going back into YouTube stuff right now. So I recently subscribed to Snapcube, which is the channel that had the infamous Sonic Adventure 2 fan dub. And I'm really loving the channel so far. Just think the crew with Penny, Ryan, and Alfred are just amazing. But going through some of their older videos too, and they're just so funny. I think the team really has a lot of good synergy. Flareon. Jellian's weak, so let's go for Ruby. Bye-bye, Flareon. Again, it pains me to do that because Flareon is my personal favorite of the evolutions. Even after all these years. Just can't help it, so fluffy and cute. So yeah, that was actually a pretty challenging battle. I remember that fight being much tougher in the remakes, though. Alright, that takes care of that. Don't think there's any items up here. So yeah, I believe this is the area where you get Lapras. I don't think there's anything in that pond right now, so we'll leave it be. Hello, Emma. She's got Poliwhirl. Ooh, that thing is high level. Man. Again, a lot of things start opening up once you get Surf. Poliwhirl just used Rain Dance. That is one of the weather attacks that were introduced in this generation. So basically, they're just weather conditions that affect the battle for a couple turns before going away. In this case, Rain Dance makes it so that water attacks are more powerful while fire attacks are less powerful. Ooh, that was close. Hanging on the Jean. Such a good girl. Ah, good. Good. Rather pet my babies than this. Alright, let's heal up Jean, because she took a lot of hits there. Very nice. So yeah, there's nothing here, but on Friday you would encounter a Lapras. It's kind of funny how they just reused the Lapras Surf sprite for the wild encounter. I don't know. Just something I noticed. Let's let Halberd take this one. And we should almost be done with the Union Cave. Definitely want to give Halberd more experience because he is going to be very helpful in the next gym. Oh, hello, Onyx. You're looking very huge today. Luckily, Onyx is kind of a pushover. And what do we got here? Hyper Potion, very good. Come on. Hello, Raticate. So you'd actually do a lot of damage, so let's switch. Eradicator, no joke at this point in the game. They're very strong. That's why, Hyper Fang. Very strong and have a lot of... Well, they have a very high... Well, I don't think they have a crit chance. In this game, I don't know. Stop that. Again, this is why I like to have a Rock-type Pokemon on my team. To be able to take these kind of hits from the common normal Pokemon. Now let's fight this guy, because he's got a cool team too. There are two kinds of people, those who have style and those who don't. What kind of person are you? Well, we're gonna find out very quickly. Nick is starting off with Charmander, the fire-type starter Pokemon of the Kanto region, specializing in special attack and speed. It was actually my starter Pokemon in my Leaf Green playthrough. Very nice, Jellian. Just 5 more levels and you are going to become so good. So she's learning Bubble Beam right now. It's kind of redundant with Surf, but on the other hand, I don't want to have Constrict on this move pool. So let's forget that. And now he's using Squirtle. Squirtle is the Water-type starter Pokemon of Kanto, specializing in defense and special defense. But don't let it fool you, it is not a pushover. So he was able to take that super effective hit pretty well. There we go. And of course, he is finishing with Bulbasaur, the Grass Poison type starter of the Kanto region, specializing in special attack and special defense. While it is kind of lame that you can't actually encounter the Kanto starters in this game, it's still nice to see NPCs using them. You got dazzling style. Thank you. Right, team is looking pretty good right now. Whoops. That's better. Alright, so let's go up and explore the other section of the Union Cave. Come on, Kale. Come on, buddy. Oof, don't worry, buddy. We have some poison cure berries. You can take this. Oof, come on. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Come on, Kale. Come on. Nah, man. That is lame. It's so lame. How dare you? Wish I had another escape rope. Heck, that's just mean. So definitely want to invest in revives next time I get to the department store. Come on, I'm gonna get out of here. Hi, Whooper, you're adorable, but I don't care. Alright, that was kind of frustrating, but we made it through the end of the Union Cave basement. Still an area we can explore in the upper part. I don't know, man. I'm just feeling kind of tired right now. Don't really know what to talk about right now. Hello there? Nah, jeez. Do we really need a wild encounter before I attack this guy? What do you got, mister? Hiker Leonard. Pawnshop, we'll let Jillian handle this. Getting in there. Good. Another reason I like Tentacle is because of its typing, it gets a lot of good resistances. Thank you. And what do you have, sir? I believe this guy's got more Geodudes. Philip. Like the screwdriver. Yeah, just more Geodudes. At least there's a good chance to give Jillian more experience. So definitely want my jellyfish to get stronger and bigger. Graveler. This should be interesting. Let's hope we can take this thing out. Oh yeah! It's a good thing too, because if that thing went boom... Don't want to think about that. Ugh. Actually not too far off from getting some more evolutions, which would be nice. I don't think we're getting any today, but definitely in the future. Hello there. This is a strange place. So actually back in the ruins of Alph now. This path through the Union Cave took us over here, where we fight, apparently, my brother. He's got Girafarig. So Girafarig is kind of interesting. It is a normal Psychic type Pokemon, which is a pretty cool typing that's only shared with a legendary Pokemon. But Girafarig is pretty cool for a lot of different reasons. As you can see, it's got its tail has the head of like a chain chomp at the end of it, which is supposed to be like a second head that has its own brain and stuff. Originally, Girafarig's back half was going to be another giraffe head, but a lot more menacing looking. Kind of going with the theme of two halves, because if you can tell from its name, Girafarig's name is a palindrome, so it's kind of like two halves are the same sort of detail. So it's really cool this Pokemon had a lot of different and design concepts going on way early on. It would have been cool to actually see a game that used the original design, but who knows. I remember this puzzle being a bit tricky. Alright, I think I got this. I think I see what I messed up here. There we go. And with that, we complete a hieroglyph of a Pokemon we're not going to see for quite a while, but it's very much ingrained into the Johto region's lore. And for that, we unleash some more unknown into the building. Pompeii no light gaze! Pompeii, be average at best. Wow, where did that come from? But believe it or not, that's not everything we can see at the Union Cave or the ruins of Alph yet. There is another path that we can take. Is that gonna go all the way back? Ugh, at this rate, we are not getting to the gym today. It's a shame, but that's just kind of how things go. Alright. I wish I grabbed more repels. Ah, just go away. So it looks like I got about 20 minutes to go. I had to go over to here. Hi, Sandshrew. It's kind of a problem I do have with the Johto games. Just them forcing you to take the same paths just to reach stuff that you couldn't get to because of a branching path that prevents you from backtracking to the other side. So we saw this with a Dark Cave, we're seeing it here. It's a little annoying. Now we want to take the low path. We can only get through here with strength, but thankfully we do have it. I don't know, I'm so bothered right now. It's kind of hot in here. My brothers keep leaving the heat on in the condo, and it can be kind of annoying. I won't have time for you, Geodude. Now, you want to be careful here. Drop down to this level, then enter here to enter the last Ruins of Alph chamber. This Pokemon drifted in the sea by twisting its 10 tentacles. Now, personally, I feel like this is the hardest out of the Ruins of Alph puzzles. It's because the shapes are very awkward. I believe there we get the last of the fossil Pokemon, Ammonite. And with that, we have finally finished the Ruins of Alph. So, potentially, we could stay here and grind to catch all the different unknown varieties. But I really don't want to do that, so we're going. We are never coming back to the Ruins of Alph again. Also of note is that the path in the Ruins of Alph that led to that patch of grass, There are actually 2 new Pokemon we can encounter there. Noctu, which is a Psychic Flying type, which I actually did consider for the team at one point, and Smeargle, a normal type Pokemon that has the unique privilege of being able to learn the move Sketch, which allows it to permanently copy the moves of pretty much any attack in the game it's able to make a copy of, which it can use permanently, which allows for a lot of unique moveset combinations. Only problem is that Smeargle is kinda weak. What is it, Arnie? Want a battle? I'm not gonna be a repeat of the last time we met. Okay, so Arnie wants a battle. We'll probably answer that someday. Yeah. But we're all done with the stuff we can do in Union Cave and Ruins of Alph for now, so let's get moving on. I know, right, Manic? So our next destination is going to be over by Azalea Town, because there's actually a lot more of the Slowpoke well that we could explore, but we couldn't at the moment because we didn't have enough HMs. But now we can. Move, Mr. Clown. Really wishing I had more repels right now. So I don't know if I've gone over this before, but the Ruins of Alph and Heart Gold and Soul Silver do have additional puzzles to them that make exploring that area a little more interesting. In that, as well as the tile puzzles, there are also some item-based riddles that require you bring a certain item to one of the Ruins of Alph chambers. And you can use that to get quite a lot of different items. So it's really cool. But now let's go explore the Slowpoke well more thoroughly. Yeah, there's nothing over there. I don't know if I said this, but I really do enjoy this cave theme that's playing right now. I don't know, is there an item here? Alright. So now we're in the basement of the Slowpoke well. It's not a whole lot we can see down here, but you do have a very high chance of encountering Slowpoke in the water. You also have a chance of encountering Wild Slowbro at a much lower level than you tend to see them, which is kind of cool if you want to cut straight to Slowbro. Good work, Pompeii. Let's see. Having Kale up front would be good. Hello there. I'm waiting to see Slowpoke's moment of evolution. For observation, I made a new discovery. A Slowpoke with a King's Rock often gets bitten by a Shelder. Here, I'll share a King's Rock with you. So this is the King's Rock. It is a fairly interesting held item. Normally when you make a Pokemon hold it, it gives its attacks a chance to make the Pokemon flinch. But it has an additional effect when given to certain Pokemon. Specifically, if you make either a Slowpoke or a Poliwhirl hold a King's Rock and then trade it, they will evolve into Slowking and Politoed respectively. However, I'm unable to get these other forms in this game, so I'm not gonna be getting them. It's a shame, because if I would definitely add Slowking to the team, because it's one of my favorites. Just has a very cool design, it's very powerful. Just always been one of my favorites. Like, from the moment I saw it in the second movie. Just a really cool character. And from there we get TM18, which I believe is Rain Dance. Yep. This actually in reference to the backstory of Azalea Town and why Slowpoke are sacred in this area. Because the Slowpoke brought rain to the town when it was suffering from a drought. Which I think is really cool. I love it when a lot of the different towns in the series incorporate Pokemon into their backstory. Like with Floaroma Town in the Sinnoh region, how it's associated with Shaman. Or Lacanosa Town in Unova, how it has a complicated relationship with the legendary Pokemon Kyurem, shall we say. I really love areas like that. Definitely makes the areas and the Pokemon feel a lot more special. But now that we're done with that, it's time to press on. Ilex Forest, I know, has water very far in, but I don't really know if there's any items we can get here. Yeah, it looks like it's just a shortcut out of the forest. Which I do appreciate, but it's nothing important here. But the next route, there will be some good stuff we can find. Oh, hello, Ditto. It's actually very fitting that Ditto can be found by the daycare on Route 34, because Ditto has the capacity to breed with pretty much any Pokemon that is not forbidden from breeding. So if you want to get Pokemon eggs very easily, Ditto is the mon for you. Whoa! Hello there, Tentacruel. So yeah, this is what Jellian will eventually turn into. Tentacruel just very big, has overall great stats. It's kind of a shame I didn't encounter one of these sooner, because it would have saved me a lot of time, but I'm fine with Jellian right now. Sure, I do have to wait a while to get her evolved, but it's no big deal. I can handle this. And it doesn't make her any less special. Hello, Tentacool. And goodbye. Now, prepare yourself for a lot of battles. Kya! A boy found us! So we got free trainers here to battle. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you actually get challenged to a double battle with two of these girls, and then you fight one of them on her own. This game, however, we have to deal with them one at a time, which is a little annoying. Oh well. Also, hope you have a grass or an electric type Pokemon with you, because they all use water types. Seaking is the evolution of Goldeen. It's very high attack power, but not much else. It's a shame because water is still a special type in this game. Doesn't really get better until Gen 4, and even then, its stats are still kind of lacking compared to other water types. It is cool looking, I'll give you that, but I don't know, not really a big priority with me. Oh, he's too strong. You can't beat Irene and go unpunished. Okay. I'm tempted to say something, but I really don't want to because it's dirty. So this girl uses the Staryu line, which are rather famous in the Pokemon community just for being very good water-type Pokemon. They have very fast and have very high special attack, as well as having a very, very huge move pool. Like, they can learn so many good moves, so that they can basically cover just about any weakness. So yeah, they are very good Pokemon. Highly recommend using them. In this game, however, it's a little awkward to get at the moves that really make Starmie good, so don't really feel motivated to get that. In other games, definitely, I'd recommend Starmie, but not Gold and Silver. Stop using Recover, you're delaying the inevitable. fail. Could you please get a crit, please? There we go. Thank you. So strong. Irene, sis. Don't get cocky. My sister Kate is tough. My sister Kate will get you for this. Kind of weird how they put this much emphasis on these NPCs because they're not really plot important. But it's still pretty cool to encounter a group of sisters that all battle Pokemon together. So give them that, but it still feels kind of out of place. You sure were mean to my little sisters. Oh, sorry, but they were the ones that ambushed me. So this is Kate. She uses the Shelter line. These are water Pokemon with very high defense. Out of all water-type Pokemon, Shelter is probably the one with the best physical defense. Which is not a problem for Jean because she's a special attacker. And Shelter's evolution Cloyster is also part Ice-type, which gives it a lot of good coverage. But not too much in terms of resistances, because Ice is not a good defensive typing. But oh well. That was not too much of a problem. Cloyster's also good in that it learns a lot of entry hazard attacks like spikes. So it's definitely good for setting up those. And for clearing those battles, we get Soft Sand. This is the ground-type equivalent of items like the Miracle Seed and Charcoal. So it's definitely very helpful. I believe they give you a different item in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like either a power herb or a mental herb. But anyway, that's a good item to give to Ruby. We'll do that later. Because it looks like our 2 hours is up. It's a shame because we haven't really seen everything that we can get with Surf. So I think we'll cover like the last thing we can do, and then we will call it. There's nothing here? Alright, what's in this tree? Mystery Berry. Okay, I am curious. What can we get rid of? Let's use this berry then. So the Mystery Berry... Okay, it looks like it's just an elixir for... that you can grind with berries. So that is pretty cool. I might grind more of these off screen just so that I have a good source of PowerPoint restoring. With that's pretty much everything I wanted to do with Surf before we progress the plot. Mainly just wanted to go around the Johto region and see all the different things we can get now that we have access to the Surf HM. And we managed to get a lot of levels for our new teammate, which will be very helpful for the future. But with that, I think we are going to call it here. So next time in Pokemon Gold, we're finally going to cross the sea from Olivine and go to Cianwood and see all the things that we can discover there. Until next time, have a good day and take care.